It's Memorex.
Good morning, everyone. It's the 22nd of December, 2025.
Morning. Another
Almost
beautiful
Christmas.
day in God's paradise. That's what we're here for. Wellness, Wolf. We love wellness. We love.
I'm making
Michael
some
Smith. We got
bone broth with some beef bones.
Love bone broth. It's my new drink, bone broth.
Please put in the chat where you're watching from. Hashtag KMT also for
a giveaway, and the giveaway should be a Kiltz hat, a KMT hat.
Yeah,
Kiltz My Tribe hat.
I loaded the kiln yesterday with a bunch of bisqueware. I'm gonna do some glazing, hopefully maybe today, tomorrow, and get another load going in. We got new cups coming out for the new year, so I'm sorry.
Love it.
We're low on numbers of cups. West Virginia, Linnea, real Dr. Nelson is really here. Terry, awesome. To be a Novak, hey my friend, awesome. Wellness. Always with love. Life is gratitude and love every day. Awesome. Montreal. Right on. And we got cold. Yeah, it's cool in upstate New York, but it's not snowing right now. But more snow's coming. It's wintertime. What do you expect? Right? It's time for many animals and many organisms and trees to hibernate. We should kind of be doing the same thing some days, right? This is our morning hibernation. Just we're checking to see whether or not it's going to be sunny or not. It was sunny yesterday. It was beautiful. It's windy.
Everyone wants a white Christmas.
Love bone broth. Yeah. It's whatever it is. It might be White Sands down in Florida. I'll be down there Wednesday.
55 in Deltona, Central Florida.
We got Eric Keffern. Good morning from Naples, Florida. And I was late yesterday on my Sunday live, so I picked up a little bit more on the West Coast because instead of being 10, it was 11-ish. And a little later is always good. We're getting a few more coming up.
What do you think about 7 a.m. starting in 2026 for this live stream? January 1st, 7 a.m. What do you think?
No.
Not yet. No, 6 is good. I like it. But I mean, because I got too many other things. I got a lot of things.
So you got a lot of stuff on your schedule.
Get moving. I'm working from home today in Skinny Atlas today and tomorrow, and then flying down to Sarasota. Let's see.
Once you move, it's gonna be too late for you.
Yeah.
What's gonna be too late? 7 a.m.
Yes, for
the kids. The school
once you
schedule.
move.
Oh no, that'll be perfect time.
Be like noontime or past noon.
2 in the afternoon.
Chuck's asking about colors. I do white, blue. I got kind of some yellow ochres, and I got some browns, and I'm working on new colors. All right. Beef Stew, my brother. How you doing?
Beef Stew, that's funny. Oh, we can't hear you.
Not yet.
Not yet. But we'll keep talking while he's getting ready.
Yes, Elephant and the Dove is good too. Awesome. Let's see. The 70 temperatures in Missouri for Christmas. Love it.
Oh, wow.
Love it. Beef Bootlegger. Awesome. We got Stu yet?
Not yet. He looks.
Not yet. He's working on it.
Not yet. He's working.
Always a little something. I had technical issues last week. I got a new box. Seems weird because I never know which one I'm coming off of yet. But you guys can hear me clearly. I got 2 mics. I got 3 different speakers. I don't know. It's all weird. It's all good. It's all working perfectly. That I know.
Esther Boros, it's noon here in Budapest.
Esther, yes, Esther. Thank you to Laszlo and Esther. I did get my my glycocalyx paper. Thank you, Esther. I appreciate it. The glycocalyx is critical, and glucose is a glycosylating agent, not a direct mitochondrial energy source. It doesn't make enough anything. But we
would love Esther on the live stream in the morning. Esther, come join us. Please email me.
We got audio yet? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta get Laszlo.
All right,
we gotta get Laszlo and Esther.
We found it. Jackpot.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Good morning.
Oh, we got to put hashtag KMT for a Kiltz cap, right?
Hashtag KMT for a Kiltz cap. Yep. Kiltz baseball
Kiltz
cap.
Mighty Tribe. KMT. Kiltz Mighty Tribe. We're all part of the tribe.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about Stu's story.
Beef.
The story of
stew.
Do it.
We love beef stew.
Here we go.
What else?
Everyone
loves beef stew, right? Chicken soup and beef stew. Lewis is in. All right. Dr. Nelson is here. Ali is here. And our brother, the Beef Bootlegger, Beef Stew. Stu, why don't you tell us your story so get everyone to get the chance to know who you are, what you do, and we'll get some questions, comments. Wherever people are at in this world, please shout it out, and let's talk more about it. Go at it, Stu.
Love it. Okay, so about 6.5 years ago, I sobered up in Texas. I used to be a bit of a drinker and was totally hooked on booze, like a heroin addict is hooked on heroin. I was very addicted to alcohol. And in my early 40s with family, that wasn't working anymore. And I channeled all of that alky energy into eating big fat steaks and working out. And I got pretty good at both. I was eating 100 pounds of Texas beef and weighing about 220. And then when COVID hit, I didn't want to shop at Costco anymore. And that's when I found this great Texas beef. And I thought, you know what? I should be shipping this steak all around the country. So this was July 2020. Butcher Box was a thing, but beef in the mail was not ubiquitous. It wasn't everywhere. And as a day job, I was working in payments. I was building mobile banking apps. So if you've ever text money with Apple Pay Cash, I helped build that. I was doing all of that, but meat certainly became part of my identity. So Dr.Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, Aaliyah, if you guys came over for dinner, I would have cooked you a big fat 3-pound steak. Yeah. And if one of you had your 30th birthday at the restaurant, everyone's presenting you whiskey, I'd present you steak. And I kind of joke, steak is the new whiskey. But meat was certainly part of my identity. Okay. And this was before carnivore was a thing. You guys were probably into it, but it certainly wasn't all over the internet and as popular as it is now. But it was certainly my identity. And so when COVID hit, I didn't want to shop at Costco. I wanted to mail this meat everywhere. I built a business plan, a website. I did all of the testing for, shipping meat with dry ice, and I put everything together. But the producer of the beef could never vacuum seal. Okay, so it was this dormant business plan, I guess, and passion that never got off of the ground. And I just kept eating the steak and working out and doing all of that. So things happened for a reason. I had built a Bitcoin payroll app, and I moved to Tampa Bay to raise money for that. And I moved very quickly. I visited out here. I found a place, checked with my family, said, okay, we're going to move. So I moved 90 days ahead of the family. Well, 60 days after I moved, Bitcoin shit the bed, FTX failed, and all of that stuff wasn't going anywhere. Now, a couple of years later, that's a very different story. But took a day job, right? I brought a couple grand of Texas beef, and I ate it all. And then when my family moved, just by divine providence, I visited a little store a couple hours south of here, and I found these great steaks, and I'm like, wow, this is the best steak I ever had. And I would drive 6 hours round trip to go get it. And then I had some friends over for dinner. They're like, oh my God, this is the best steak ever. And so I decided I was gonna pull the trigger on that business plan I had dormant back from Texas. And basically 18 months ago, built a company, started doing it as a side hustle, just sort of a passion to share this great beef. And in January this year, my father, Frank, he passed away, total legend at 83. And I had an Aussie dad and an American mom, and my dad died in the New Zealand airport. And I went to go bring him back, help my mom bring him back. And so that 10 days out of the office, all of these signs were coming from the universe that I needed to go all in on beef. And I came back, left that day job, and now we're all in on beef. And now I just want to share this amazing beef with the world. That's where I met Dr.Kiltz. So, all the meat eaters, I think, can appreciate the quality of the steaks that we're shipping. And then I also wanted to support local ranchers. So while I was doing those 6-hour drives, I found the biggest ranch in Florida, or the best, maybe not the biggest, but certainly a really great one that's local. And we support our local ranchers. And then a few other connections, we were able to, drop a half cow nationwide, and we support the East Coast through Missouri and the West Coast through Wyoming. And all of it just came together in about 9 months. And so now we're feeding carnivores, and we're certainly taking care of local mouths and local dinners. And the things that makes it special is the steak is so good that you're creating experience, right? It's not just eating a steak by yourself, but like when I met you guys and we were able to serve 100 carnivores, we really want great beef to help elevate the environment. And it might be smaller unit for a family to celebrate, or guys having cigars and boys night, but certainly people who can appreciate really good quality beef. And that's my passion now, to just basically move this around and create great experiences.
What do you think about beef and helping those people that are suffering from alcohol use and abuse? Do you think, like, just going right to beef? I know our good friend George said, okay, done with that. Let's get to the proper human diet. As a good friend Ken Berry has shared, that maybe this life like a lion is realizing that, what other animal is well, there are some animals that do consume some fruits that are a little bit covered with alcohol, but is alcohol good for us?
If you're asking me, I think it certainly isn't, especially in large quantities, right? I wouldn't know what a beer or a glass of wine does, but when you're drinking a lot, it takes a big toll, and it takes a toll in a variety of different ways. Now, shifting to a meat diet is a way to get sober. I would certainly advocate for that, because in my own journey, now I'm not a doctor, I don't know. I just know that basically it has a lot of minerals, vitamins, but also building strength, right? So there's a character piece that you get into that. So there's a bit of an identity shift, and again, maybe an addict mind can work well with meat, just shifting into something, but it certainly helped me, build a whole new identity and something that I was proud of. But also, when you look really good and you feel really good, you don't necessarily want to mess that up or change it, right? So, and that all took place quite quickly. I would say within 60, 90 days, I wasn't really thinking about alcohol at all. And I just wanted to work out and get big and eat healthy. And then again, once I started doing that, then that was something that I wanted to share. So anyone who came over was just getting a piece of what I gravitated to at that point.
Yeah. So the power of the lion, and really this is a lion's life. And I always go to Jesus and the Lion King, and how powerful faith is. And living and eating meat is sort of like takes us to a new level that we've sort of been led astray. I mean, alcohol is not good for us. It is a poison. And so, the problem is the doctors and the scientists and the authorities say, yeah, red wine is good for you. It's got healthy substances that are helping you. But in fact, it's also it's sort of like smoking a cigarette's got air in it, right? You got a little bit of air in it, but ultimately it's got other toxins. And, how did coming to this lion's life and the carnivore lifestyle help you build the mindset to straighten your life out and help share this passion you have?
Yeah, I think a little bit was discipline. Okay, so there's something that you can do and you just repeat and do it over and over, whether you feel like it or not. Now, I felt like it a lot, but also eating steak is very tasty, right? Sometimes, I mean, I wouldn't even know about going on certain diets, but it was very easy because it's, great meat. Also, I think having high quality meat is a difference. Now, again, eating meat versus fast food is probably better if you're buying it from, the supermarket or whatever. But having really high quality food, I think your body knows that you're getting nourishment, and again, it just elevated everything, the whole mindset. Um, I think at the time I probably was eating vegetables and other things as well, but it was certainly dominated by meat. And yeah, I think just when you're strong and you're feeling good about yourself as well, you want to share that. You're talking about sort of Jesus, and certain people want to advocate certain things because they want to help people. It's help themselves, and there's a benefit there. And again, not putting meat on the same level, but I think once I got into that diet, I was feeling so good. It's just something that you wanted to share. And it was also, I think, relevant in the household. So from a personal level, okay, that's fine. But if you're drunk and you have young boys that are being raised at the time, 8, 10, and then my son who was, 1 or whatever, you don't necessarily have credibility in the household, right? Even if you're doing everything right, but you're drunk, okay? Just because you're drunk doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Now, it doesn't make communication better, it doesn't make the vibe better, and some of those other things. But it was sort of always there. And once you got big, strong, and you're eating healthy, there's really not a vice or something like that going through the spirit of the household, right? So I think that whole credibility piece as well makes you feel better as a human being, as a person. And when you feel that at a genuine level, again, you're radiating that now. So there was a whole bunch more than just me as an individual. I think my energy, if I had friends that came and visited, so I grew up in California, now I'm in Texas with a family, we'd be eating this wholesome meal, we'd be saying grace, the kids are all sort of participating. And so there was certainly an element of raising all of that. And again, that meat was the foundation of that as well. And again, you're sharing it, you're doing things, you're creating these experiences at the micro, at the household unit, and then sharing it with the world.
Well, certainly a lot of people having difficulties with substances, different kinds, have had a similar experience when going carnivore. So,
yeah, and I think it would translate probably beyond booze as well. So I don't know. I mean, weed nowadays is probably a whole different level than when I was getting into it, right? So before it was just sort of grown somewhere. Now it's more industrial, but I would think that's quite addictive in its nature, and it's
especially selected
cocaine, kratom, whatever. I mean, all of these plants, as Dr. Kiltz said when we met eloquently, and then spoke to at Hack Your Health, those things have their own. What is it? They're the predator and we're the prey, right? So all of those things. Now, again, booze was where I was at when I did a switch, but I would think all of those. And there's an identity piece as well, for sure. So I think there's a bit of exercise and other things that go along with eating meat, but you're going to be stronger, you're going to be more powerful, and then you're going to be able to, I think, build a healthy identity at your own core and run with that, let that build. And I think that would be helpful to get off of any substance, really.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's everywhere, all these drugs and alcohol and even candy. And I was at the a shop yesterday buying for my grandson, and they have all this fun candy stuff, made up little snails and things. And it's sort of, let's get our kids addicted to sugar early on. And this is one of our biggest problems, and we have to be very discerning and how we're making our decisions in life, and what we put in our mind and our mouth, and feeling the strength inside. And there's a comment, it's hard to quit. Well, but we're built for hard things. I mean,
Mhm.
what beautiful things come out of easy, and that's why community is so important, right? How did community help you in all of this, or family and other support to help you on your journey, Stu?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's ideals, and then there's maybe a bit of reality. So for me, it was interesting. I sobered up July 3rd, 2019. Okay. Now, again, I was drinking bottles of booze at 4 a.m. I was like hardcore alcoholic, got sick if I stopped drinking. And I had a couple, breakdowns. My body would shut down. I had ways to cope and to do all of that. So the first thing I did, I went to an AA meeting. And again, sometimes you meet people for a reason. This particular AA group, my mom had been sending me things a long time. She knew it wasn't really like a secret. I mean, people knew that I drank. Now I can manage. Okay. But she was always sending, things of encouragement or whatever. And this AA group was all men's at a church on a Wednesday. And so that first day, it was one of those things like, if you don't want to drink or whatever, you kind of make a pledge and you get a little chip for a day. I don't know how AA people are, but there's obviously a program and it's very effective for a lot of people. So for me, it was the community and the guys group, and a couple of those guys I gravitated to. But as I went to more AA meetings, it wasn't really my vibe. Okay. So it works for a lot of people, but it seemed like maybe the message, at least in that, was a lot of kind of like down talk, we're addicts, we struggle, but it wasn't like uplifting. It wasn't like maybe a winning mindset or whatever, but I was certainly getting benefit from the entire group and from some of the guys in it. And I'd bump into them at the gym and these other things. Right now I'm working out. So I think maybe the gym culture was also something, not directly, but indirectly. You see the same people. I wasn't familiar with the gym. So you're asking how to do an exercise, or a guy spotting you, all of these kind of words of encouragement. So I'd say the gym was a little bit more what I was gravitating to, but I was still doing the AA meetings. And then I got, the month chip, the 3-month chip, but now it was just the Wednesdays with those guys. And then COVID hit. Okay. And so when COVID hit, the gym shut down, no one was meeting in person in AA, and I wasn't going to do AA on Zoom. I was not like a Zoom guy. Here we are right now, but I'm like, okay. And so just going through, so I was probably, 6, not even 9 months into sobriety when COVID happened. And that was, as we all know, a very isolating by design paradigm they really put on everyone, right? No church, no gym, right? No beach, can't go out, but you could go get booze at the alcohol, place or whatever. I think they kept weed dispensaries open in your McDonald's, right? So that made it very internal. But what happened, so you're asking about social, right? So I think the gym, just to emphasize that point, was really good, and meeting guys. And then AA to some degree, right? With the support, I think was certainly important. But then it was individual. And so I decided, I sat the kids down. So I forget how old they were, but I kind of knew it was a pandemic. And I sat the kids down. And I said, hey, look, you're not going back to school in 2 weeks. I don't know how long this is going to be, but this whole process is designed to make you half the man. Okay. Well, we're not going to be half the men coming out of COVID. We're going to be twice the men. So we're going to be 4 times the average person whenever this is done. I really literally had to sit down like that at the beginning of COVID. So I said, what are our goals? Okay. So my goal was to lift 225 pounds, 5 sets of 5. And maybe at the time I could do it once, and I could do 185 in the gym. And then one of the kids was studying Japanese. Okay. So he was going to learn some Japanese. And I think the 8-year-old said he's going to clean his bedroom or something. Anyway, it's cute. I said, we'll work on that. But so I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I would do crazy amounts of push-ups. And I had 235s. If you remember, all the weights got sold in the country. There were no weights. Well, I had 235. So I would be on my back doing all of that. So to just finish the point, in 90 days, gyms opened up. Texas was a 90-day state. Florida, I think, was even less. But in 90 days, I went into that gym and I thought, okay, maybe I could do 225 3 times or something. I did a set of 7. So already my life kind of goal in my mindset in the gym that was 225, 5 sets of 5, I just crushed it. And I hadn't even been in the gym or anything. And so that was really like a release in my mind that, oh, we got to set way bigger goals. And also 90 days seems like a long time. But so again, that was an evolutionary shift. And then I was hooked. Right now, I was like a gym bro, lifting weights, doing all of that. Back in there, then I had the support. Now I was, again, like weightlifting and all of that. So I guess to just finish the question, community is really important. I would say that community needs to instill something that, one, makes you feel safe. Two, inspires you to behave better, right? That they're not dragging you down or saying, hey, let's go to the bar and have a drink or something like that. But then also that you can create new goals and that you can evolve as a human being. And I think that would also translate to business now, right? Versus a corporate job, but that you want to surround yourselves with people that can help grow. So growing your mind with inspiration, growing your mind with living healthy, whether it be through diet and exercise, obviously the spiritual. And I think the other one would be an outlet with financial. And that's kind of where I'm at right now as well. That's a new piece of the journey, but certainly meat was the foundation of that, 6 years in.
What do you think our future is in this carnivore lifestyle and inspiring others to move to this new way of living?
Yeah, great question. So now when I go out, so we met you at a conference and we had a dinner. My day-to-day, I'm out doing pop-up style stuff with a lot of healthy communities themselves. Yesterday, for example, it was an 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Fitness, cold plunge, sauna get together. They meet monthly, they sell tickets, and just the caliber of the people were really healthy, good looking, fit. So meat also has a mindset. The people that I meet doing this are usually great stand-up people that are improving their bodies, their mindset, and they're doing things. Coming from the corporate world, it's not necessarily like that. Not everyone's a stand-up person, right? Sometimes there's I guess corporate backstabbing and people trying to like do different things, right? That I don't see as much in the athletic world with meat eaters. Bringing great food to people, again, it's hard to get. So where is it going? Meat is certainly getting more and more expensive. Okay. So I've been doing this full-time 9 months and meat prices are up 30% across the board.
Wow.
Already I have very nice steaks, right? I call it luxury beef, really high quality. But so our ribeyes moved from $27 to $36. So I think as we think about the carnivore diet, people are going to have to continue to prioritize eating well and maybe give up something else. They might have to give up, the booze, the drinks, or some other type of spending that they have to make room for great meat in their diet. So I think that's probably the biggest hurdle, I think, is as more and more demand comes in, as there continues to be low supply, and as maybe mass meat production is less like healthy, right? They'll produce meat, right? But is it going to be raised on, good grass and good water? And, if you grain finish, what's the quality of the grain in these type of things? And then also, is the government and the regulator is going to leave the meat alone, right? So we're talking about COVID, and, there's vaccines and all of that type of stuff. But I think there's a lot of pressure to infiltrate non-godly things into the godly meat supply. And probably the, not like lower ends, but the lower price points or whatever are probably going to have all of that. And so if you have this good, happy cow, clean beef, I think that's going to continue to get priced higher and higher. So I think that just making sure that you're leaving room in your budget and prioritizing high quality meat over certain other things would be like a mindset that good carnivores are going to have to take with them as we go into the future.
What are the things you incorporate in your diet, Stu?
Well, when I had a day job and I had a bit more money, I'm offsetting that as I grow my business, but I would eat great steak every day. So if you came over, we'd be eating maybe a 3-pound steak as a household, or 2 2-pounders, and I'd eat a 2-pound ribeye myself and slice up a 2-pound ribeye for the fam. They'd probably eat a pound of that, and I'd take the remaining pound to work. as lunch the next day. So now we're a bit more on a budget. So I might eat what doesn't get eaten at one of my events. So we cook Wagyu hot dogs, we cook cheeseburgers, ribeye slices, and we make the fries in beef tallow. So I would say, 3 times a week, I might be eating burgers and ribeyes, that kind of come back from those events. Once in a while, I eat a little bit of fish. My now 10-year-old, who was 1 back in Texas when I started the story, he likes some salmon. So I cook all of the fish in beef tallow. And that is a game changer. So I'm cooking everything in beef tallow. So there's a little bit of seafood to just shake it up. And once in a while, I'll eat one of my big fancy $100 steaks. And there's not much veggies going on. Like 0 actually, but if I was at someone's house, I would eat, some vegetables. Don't hate me, Doc. But it's definitely different forms of meat. And I also tried for the first time, I got a Wagyu source and I ate some A7 Wagyu because I was putting it in holiday boxes, but I'm not sure I would be eating Wagyu steak, like as a staple. It's a little bit fatty, and I'm not 100% sure on the genetics of the animal. Is it a strong, hardy animal? I need to research a little bit more about the background of, Wagyu beef and all of that.
Although I suspect that the cheapest meat is still better than the most expensive plant food.
Oh, 100%.
And encouraging everyone to at least eat, in the animal kingdom is our best thing. And I think that you don't have to eat ribeye steak. I mean, there's so many great cuts, but again, burger every day. And that's still wonderful. And throw in some liver bits into it and throw in some eggs. And, there's really simplicity, and really variety is deadly for us. This is one of our problems. Variety is not good, and narrow is a narrow, hit the target every time. So that's why I stick to steak. I mean, I occasionally have, just a burger, eggs, bacon. I mean, there's so much. Pork is still a really great animal product. Lamb, so many good cuts of meat. And what's the sales stuff going on out there, Dr. Nelson? We got much going on out there, and great sales and great meats and great products for humans to consume.
Here in Florida, at least, I think Publix still having. The last one I saw was 5 days ago at $9.99 a pound rib roast. I mean, it's
they're rib roast for sure, and same. I mean, there are certainly cuts that are really good, keeping the price point down. Publix is pretty good too. So some supermarket meat is better than others. Now, it's been a while since I bought it, but I'm always checking on the prices. I stopped by Walmart to get something last night, and I'll always look at the prices. And some of their cuts looked okay, but we're still maybe only 50% less than where I'm at, which is the highest end. And I felt like it was maybe equivalent to Publix. But I've heard mixed reviews. And I also wonder if some of these supermarkets source locally, because moving meat around costs so much, right? So they probably have regional sources. But Florida is a top 10 producing state for cattle, which also surprised me when I moved here. And I guess 100 years ago, it was one of the main ones because they put them all on the boats and ship them east. But Florida's got a lot of good cattle and a lot of production.
Well, I eat processed plants all the time. And I don't care, a cow.
Do you have them processed through the cow?
Yeah.
Right on. And a cow, again, a cow's a cow. Again, we're qualifying, but still the truth to all those listening, eating fatty meat, organ meats, wherever you can get it, is still going to be the healthiest thing you could eat. And plants are poisonous, but they're the things that we picked and we've produced over the thousands of years are the least toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the problems is we're eating 3 to 6 meals a day. It's like, let me eat 3 to 6 meals a day, go on a GLP-1 and be on a crazy diet that doesn't work. But if you simply eat meat and you throw everything else out, you're healthier than anything. And you can eat the cheapest meat and you're better off than most anything else.
Yeah, I would actually add to that as well is just the preparation. So cooking meat is an easy prep. It's almost fast food. So you can cook a 1 pound ribeye, maybe 4 minutes on each side at high on the grill. Okay. So for less time than it would take you to really go anywhere and pick up food. I joke that it's fast food. And then your cleanup, if you're outside, right? I got a household. My girlfriend obviously likes a clean kitchen. And when I'm cooking outside, I make no mess, right? So you can cook yourself a steak, cook for the whole family very quickly, right? Minutes, maybe single digit, but certainly, something that starts with a 1, 12, 15 minutes, a great steak, a great meal for the whole family, 0 cleanup. What's better than that? You don't have to chop it all up, make a bunch of dirty dishes preparing those veggies, right? Even if you're cooking inside with a pan, 1 pan, cast iron, done deal.
Well, what I love to do is just cook it, put it on the cutting board, cut it up, put it on the table, and everyone just eats from that. But there's, fish is great, chicken, but you got it we're prioritizing protein, but that's not healthy. It's prioritizing fatty meat is the healthiest because a protein-centric, low-fat diet is deadly for humans. It's called protein poisoning and rapid starvation. So really, carnivore is a fatty meat diet, and fat is the most important thing that we need to be eating, but we're not. Even carnivores are cutting away the fat because I don't want to get fat. But if you're not fat in a famine, you're fertilized or fast.
It's funny that you say that too, because I do, service different appetites. I never get in debates with people. If they want grass-fed, grass-finished, that's great. If they want grain-fed, that's fine. If they want 80-20, that's fine. If they want 90-10. But certainly the gym bro culture, they think lean meat equals lean body. And they want the leanest it gets. Now, I don't do anything less than 90-10, but it's funny, like fat is good for you. And it can also make you lean up. It's not necessarily if you eat a little bit of fat that you're going to get fat. I think your body just processes faster and better.
Is being lean and the excessive exercise going to make us live longer and healthier?
Well, I think you can overdo it for sure. And then also you need fat in your brain. You need fat in other places than, just what your muscles look like.
Well, when you eat fat, adipose tissue actually contains all the building blocks of the body and the fuel. It also suppresses the microbes in your gut, which need to be kept suppressed because they have one mission: to control and kill you. They've convinced us that eating plants and having lots of microbes in there are good. Well, it's because in order to properly digest the plants, you need to ferment them. And fermentation of a plant makes what? Alcohol. So all of our children, all of our elderly, all of our in-between, a high plant protein, low-fat diet is making alcohol, which we're walking around with every day, which is messing up every organ system of our body, and especially our brain and our ability to think straight and live better and control our lives. That's why the lion is the most regal, strong, and admired animal of the life kingdom. And
absolutely. The other thing I noticed, because I'm cooking everything in beef tallow, I render my own down from that local ranch, really high quality stuff. And you just leave it out, never goes bad at all. You just leave that out. You can use it whenever you want. Even sometimes, when I'm making the French fries with stainless steel bowls, you can just kind of like wipe it out. There's never any mold, or there's never anything going on with the fat before or after use.
Well, and dry aging beef, it doesn't spoil. Mm-hmm. It gets better. And whatever it is about the dry aging, about the beef, it has the right amount of fat to suppress the microbes and suppress and eliminate the wrong microbes. So in general, the bacteria and yeast that's everywhere gets on the meat, and it breaks it down and makes it more tender and flavorful. But in general, I mean, I dry age my meat in my refrigerator for months, and I just slice it off and eat it raw. And I think that's one of the things that we have to think about, is that maybe we need more rare to raw, more fat, and throw some salt on it. Some Maldon is really great. Saltar is another one of my favorites.
Well, we did that. So I hadn't been eating raw fat, but when we got together at that dinner, we had plenty of fat that we cut off a whole ribeye loin, and it must have been a dozen of us, including my family, that all had a nice big bite. Yeah, if a little bit of salt, but it was really nice texture, and it wasn't unpleasant at all. Just eating the pure fat raw. Is there a better?
What do we think about? What do we think about keto diet?
I haven't done it, so I would probably have to experiment a little bit with that, I suppose.
Well, carnivore is essentially a keto diet, high fat. Atkins, paleo, keto, carnivore are technically high fat diets, not low carb diets.
Right.
Because you got to focus on what it is, not what you think it should be. But because too many people eat a low carb diet, but they also eat a low fat diet, which is harmful for humans.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I guess just measuring the ketosis, right? So a couple of the folks I know were doing a lot of measurement and calibration, I suppose. So I think I might have, been on the diet without the calibration stuff. But I lost 40 pounds. So when I moved here, I was 220. Okay. I'm 182 maybe right now. And everyone tells me how great I look and I feel great. And I'm not doing anything special diet-wise. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat probably 2 meals a day. I skip breakfast. Makes me very tired. If I eat breakfast, I find myself losing some energy. So I'll eat a little bit later, and I eat an evening meal. But muscle-wise, definition-wise, energy-wise, I'm 48, all natural, and I'm working probably 16 hours a day while I ramp this business from nothing. But I feel good and my energy levels are high. We got up at 5 to come meet you guys at 6. So I think there's a lot to that. Go ahead, Doc.
You finish first.
Oh, I was just going to say, the thing is I don't know what I would feel like if I was doing something different to compare the two, because I've been doing this for a long time.
Patience. See, where we want things fast. Life is not supposed to be things fast. And we're built to do only one thing, and that's work.
Mm-hmm.
And you can work and worship at the same time. Because basically, if you're not hunting and gathering and moving every day, what are you doing? We've made work a 4-letter negative word, but in fact, it's the most important thing in life. Go to work, get up, and go to work, get up, and go to work every day. That's all where we're living work.
100%. Yeah.
Because there are ups and downs to life. Is that natural and normal?
Yeah, and you need to appreciate the good as well. If everything was good, you wouldn't have the contrast. It's like light and day, right? You need night and you need day to understand both.
But we have to appreciate all sides of it because it's all part of God's gift. And so this idea that, hardship and struggles and pain, if we appreciate them, our mind opens up and see the beauty of that fabric and color and texture and the joy of life, even in the hardships.
100%. And also I'm basically in a service business, right? So if I'm winning, I'm helping people. I'm providing a solution to getting great quality beef. Not everyone has time to find it. Not everyone has time to go get it. And really, that's, like I said at the beginning of the story, I just bumped into this, and it was a sign, I think, from the universe saying, hey, it was already a passion, right? It was already my identity at the most sincerest level, and we gravitated into it. And then also just like working out, like doing those push-ups every day at 4 a.m. led to
every day.
You just got to give it time, patience, and make sure that you're providing a service to your fellow man and doing it with a smile. And I think everything else, it's just slow exponential in that little bit right here. But every day is better than the previous, and every month is better than the previous. And again, I'm meeting such amazing people. I would say the people I've met is the best part about my last 9 months. There's a lot of, I guess you'd call it access through great steak. Like steak is kind of the keys to the city. I'm meeting a lot of great people. We're here talking today. If I wasn't doing this, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
It's a great community, and we have lots of stories of hardships, challenges, failures, addictions. I mean, that's sort of our natural progression in life. And judge not lest you be judged. But I say judge with love. That's really critical. And all this. Are you doing any fasting work in your habits?
Yeah, I need to be. I did a 72-hour fast, and I felt so good. And what was interesting as well was my facial structure and these other things. And I actually believe that changed my body's processing, because I probably dropped from 190 to 180, living the same lifestyle after that fast. I participate in a men's group that does it quite frequently. I don't think I've fasted in maybe 4 months, and I certainly do, and I should. But 72 was the longest I went. Often I'll not eat for 24 hours, but I don't think intermittent.
That's good. So you're throwing in some fasting, that's, I do 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
I just finished a 4-day fast. I've got a 5 to 7 day fast coming up, probably the second week of January.
What do you, when you're doing your 5 to 7 day fast, do you drink water and coffee? What are you allowing yourself to consume?
You're allowed whatever you want on your fast. I typically just drink mineral water, and that is it. I'm off coffee again. But you can do a dry fast even, where you drink nothing, eat nothing, drink nothing. Your body makes water when it makes ATP, CO2, and H2O, and every amino acid added to another amino acid and making a protein also kicks off water. Thank you for all the investment to our health. By the way, it's an investment. Crazy chickie. But yeah, I think fasting. Dr. Nelson, what's your longest fast?
22 days.
Wow.
And Kiltz did 15. It was hard.
What did you feel like after the 15 or the 22 days when you fast that long? And how much weight did you lose?
I felt amazing. Lost about 5 pounds. And then it's because, and I did my walking and weights and all those sort of things and hills, and flew my airplane, went to surgery, did all that, and worked every day. Felt great. And you could have gone longer. I mean, I think, Dr. Nelson, you could have gone longer. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's amazing. Fasting is strength. Fasting is food freedom. Carnivore is food freedom.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking the kind of the willpower, I guess, or the conquering of the mind when you go that long would be very uplifting. Basically just suppressing that the physical side of things. Just all pure and willpower, and then also being able to tell yourself no over and over for something, be very empowering.
Or say yes
Yeah.
to the activity you're involved in. And I always say fasting is easy. As you think in the mind, so shall it be in your life. As you think in the mind, so shall it be in your life. So this is easy.
Well, I love the yes bit too.
What's that?
I said I love the yes bit. And saying no to something, saying yes, just the other side of the coin. Much more positive.
But you're saying yes to your decisions you're making, yes to the life you're deciding. I mean, this is the Jesus Christ lion's life. And we've learned from so many other ancient sages that have taught us how to be the lion, right? Carnivore Jerry, day 21 into my annual 40-day fasting.
Love that.
Really another magical story of we can all do it. You can do whatever the mind thinks it can. And it's
Correct.
always right.
Yep.
Always right.
We have a question. Is coffee good or bad for us? Dr. Kiltz.
Well, what energy do you give it? We breathe air. I mean, there are toxins in the air that we breathe and the water we drink in this world we live in.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, small amounts of things infrequently. I mean, I don't know. I mean, coffee in general has been used in teas by humans for thousands of years. And ultimately, you know, so many people are adding all these additions to their coffee or tea.
Right.
When small amounts, not as heavy, but I would say I did fine on coffee. I didn't feel it, but could it have some adverse effects? Maybe. But I drive cars, fly airplanes, and I live with another human being. Those are all dangerous things. Each of us needs to manage which way we want to live. That's the most important part to this story. There's not like you got to do it like me. Be you, right? What's your thoughts, Dr. Nelson, on coffee? Oh my God.
I haven't occasionally, almost every day. Haven't had any today.
And I'm doing some light tea, decaf, herbal, but I occasionally do some coffee. But I've been off coffee now for a week. After 2.5 years, no coffee. I was back on it for 2 months. Now I'm off it again.
Great.
I rarely drink alcohol, small amounts, sips, infrequently. I'm a maximal minimizer. I'm really good at no. But we know in our communities, each of us has to decide for ourselves which way we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm addicted to life and the morning lives with Nelson and Ali and Stu and everyone else that shows up, because this is that's why I love to go to churches and I love to go to meetups, because I love to go see people and connect in a community. That's why the COVID thing was hard for so many of us. But it in and of itself gave us a new direction, right? Judge not lest ye be judged. Remember that. Everything happens under God's way and will for a reason. We just don't know what it is yet.
We have a few questions.
Should we take them really fast? We've got it. Let's see. How do we get our governments to increase herd population overall? Increasing the inventory production should help stabilize and bring prices down.
Yeah, I think incentives matter. Okay, so they could, and I saw something recently, maybe 750 billion passed for regenerative agriculture, as in like a couple days ago. So incentives, of course, matter. I think also, like a lot of big business, meat is big business generally. And I think there's a few companies that have an oligopoly and are controlling prices, populations. I know the processing plants have a lot to do with it. The local rancher really struggles. They might be lucky to make $100 a head. So there's certainly inefficiency and I guess collusion, you would say, with some of the big players. At the end of the day, incentivizing for more population and cheaper processing. Last thing I'll say as well is the local rancher, Providence Cattle's, who I work with, Joe, who runs, I think maybe 20 years they've been running the ranch. He was telling me his storage and his transportation costs are up 100%. So even the cattle itself, right? But there's a lot more that goes into it. So, there's just inflation and some other things, but yeah, incentivizing more cows and making it easier for us to get it to our door.
Well, we're here because the government's not going to fix you or us.
Yeah.
We do it. We support our local ranchers. We invest in our infrastructure to help create the great meat, more grazing out there. I mean, I love a grazing and also some grain finishing to those animals, which my good friend Mark at Bighorn Mountains, they do some of the grain feeding right out on the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of ways to do this. We want really good quality meat. You're right. And it's more expensive, which obviously is a challenge for so many people. So, good. There's all sorts of levels and ways to do it. I don't fight anything. I foster where I want to go and grow that, because the rest of it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you put into the things that you wish to grow, and so we're doing that in these communities, in our meetups, and supporting people like Stu and others, and Mark and Jeff, our friend, all of our amazing cattle friendly, rancher friendly. Again, whether it's beef or chicken or fish, fatty meat is so important. And that's why we go to these meetups and communicate and grow this world like we're doing. It's
Love that.
high fatty meat, not high protein.
And I would just also add is it costs a bit more to support independence. Okay, so just expect to pay more and do it gladly to help that local rancher. There's always going to be cheaper solutions that are a bit more industrial and less personal, right? But as soon as you go to some big brand and you spend your $10 on the ground beef or your $25, $30 on the steak, right? That's just moving into the corporate system, which is flawed for a variety of reasons. It does provide a benefit. However, the best, right, might be to find someone who's local or an independent rancher. Okay, they're living a lifestyle, they have a family, and you want to, there's multi-generations, in that ranch. And certainly, I think the system would like that ranch to fail and to get gobbled up by the big corporates, right? So we want to pay a little bit more. We don't necessarily have to have a one-to-one relationship with the rancher. They're very busy as well, but just supporting that ranch, supporting that lifestyle, and supporting that independence. It's a two-way street, but I think that's also important.
Rick is asking, do you think that being carnivore for decades is why I have never experienced addictions?
Rick is addicted to life. And he's a marvelous human being that I'm glad to call a friend. And I'm glad that Kiltz Mighty Tribe has him sharing with us. And these are so important. And Stu, I'm really grateful, because you're right. We need to invest in our infrastructure, but we want to encourage everyone to come over to the carnivore lifestyle and get rid of all the drugs, alcohol, and the negativity, and come over to the positive, the masterful Lion's way. That's what we're here to do. Sharon Mulford, Esther's son. Nice. Got a KMT cap.
Congratulations. Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com. And my email is all fixed up. So I'll get your emails. You'll get my answers. Good news.
And we can work with the government and the corporate. We all want to work together. This is not them and us. It's all one together. There's going to be all different levels of this working in the world. That's the nature of it. And when we can all work together and sit at the table and support each other, that's what we're here to do. The more we do that, the better. That's what I think is one of the important things that we're working to do in all of this on Kiltz Mighty Tribe with Stu and Dr. Nelson and Alia and each and every one of you, right? We're here supporting each other. And again, we are the government in essence.
Mm-hmm.
And we're got to do the connection, the community, and the conversation. It's just the way of the world.
I like that. And I think just one other thing that I would add is that we need to be the inspiration that we want to see in the world, right? So we want to live a lifestyle that's just our whole vibration is what is gravitating new people to this lifestyle. We want to be good, stand-up human beings and be a positive force in the world. And then when we're operating at that vibration and that frequency, we're going to bring more and more people in because they're going to want it. They're going at sort of every level. They're going to say, I want that.
And I own and run CNY fertility centers, and we work on affordability for everyone. And I think all of our ranchers can work on ways, and that's the things that we have to think about. How can we work on affordability access for everyone? And that's kind of part of the story here. And we work with their corporations, our local farmers, ranchers, our government, and all together because that's what we're here for.
Amen to that.
Last minute words, Dr. Nelson, Alia.
5:30 p.m. today.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Join us 5:30 p.m. for this.
And how do we find Stu?
How do we find Stu? Stu,
how do we find me? A couple places. So beefbootlegger.com if you want to buy some beef. Instagram, we're at beef_bootlegger. That's where we do a lot of posting, and hopefully at a local event somewhere in Florida near you. We would love the opportunity to
good. Come to our event in February. We're doing a Tampa meetup February 2nd. Come
okay. Well, I think
I'll email
February
you.
2nd.
February 7th. February 7th. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll figure it out. But absolutely. Yeah. And also I appreciate meeting all of you, and Dr. Kiltz, you are the man.
Well, we love everyone here and appreciate it. And addicted to life in the lion, addicted to the lion's life. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. God bless everyone. Thank you, Alia, Dr. Nelson.